Welcome back, guys, to another sewing tutorial on this channel. If you're stopping here for the first time, you're welcome. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make a side ruched skirt. If this is what you're interested in learning, please kindly watch the video to the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So guys, let's get started. Okay guys, if you are drafting directly on your fabric, it's advisable that you come down by 1 inch or half an inch. This is going to act as a seam allowance for your waistline. Then go ahead and draw a straight line that will act as a guide for your vertical measurement. So from that straight line, I'll go ahead and mark my hip line, and then I'll use my pattern master, or if you have a meter rule, go ahead and use it to draw a straight line. And then the next measurement is the knee line. Ensure that you take your measurements before drafting your pattern. I'll go ahead and place my knee line measurement, and then I'll go ahead and draw a straight line, and then I'll proceed to the hemline. Okay, so the hemline, you take your measurement as well where you want your skirt to stop, which is the hem. Go ahead and place the measurements on your fabric. If you're drafting with the pattern, you place it on your pattern and then you draw a straight line. I'll go ahead and take the horizontal measurement, which is more like your round body measurement around your, from your waist down to the hemline. So I'm going to be placing my waist measurement, which is my round waist measurement divided by 4. I'll go ahead and place my dart. If you're using a dart, place a dart of 1 inch and then a seam allowance of 1.5 inches. Around the hip, I'll take my round hip measurement plus 1.5 inches seam allowance, and then I'll go ahead and transfer whatever measurement I have on my hip line to the knee line. You can go ahead and reduce it by 1.5 inches if you want your skirt to be more like a pencil skirt, or you place whatever you have on your hip line measurement down or your knee line. It all depends on choice. For some people, they prefer to transfer their hip to their knee and then to the hemline. So whatever I have on my knee, I'm going to transfer it to the hem. So for me, I reduced the knee measurement by 1.5, which is whatever I have on my hip. I removed 1.5 inches and placed the measurement on my knee line, and then transferred the measurement on my knee line down to the hemline. So I'm going to be using my curvy ruler to connect the points from the hip to the knee, and then use a straight ruler to connect what I have from the knee to the hemline. So I'll go ahead and cut out the excess pattern paper. So I'll be using this pattern for the front and the back. You can see that I have my zipper allowance, so I'm going to fold the zipper allowance to cut the front pattern, and if I want to cut the back pattern, I'm going to open up the zipper allowance to cut out the back pattern. So I'm just showing you guys what I would do to ensure that I cut out my front pattern first before proceeding to cutting out the back. Okay, so I'll simply place this on my fabric. I'm placing my fabric on fold. Firstly, I'll be cutting out the front pattern before proceeding to the back. Okay, so I'll place my pattern on the fabric, and then I'll secure it with a pin. Okay, ensure that you stabilize your pattern with your pins, okay, so that it doesn't move. You can see that the fabric is a bit unstable, so it's best you secure it with a pin and then you go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so after cutting out the front pattern, I'll go ahead and cut out the back pattern. So this is me placing my fabric on fold. I'll go ahead and open up the zipper allowance just like I explained to you guys earlier on. I'll open up the zipper allowance. I'm going to be placing my pattern rather, on the fabric, and then I'll go ahead and secure it with a pin, and then I'll cut out the pattern as you can see me doing. Okay guys, so having done that, I'll simply go ahead and cut out a lining. The fabric seems unstable, so I'll be using a lining to stabilize it a little bit. It's not a very thick lining, it's a very light lining that will stabilize the fabric a little bit. It's a rich skirt, so you don't expect the fabric to be really thick so that it can flow with the tide whenever you're trying to create your ruches. Okay, though this is not like a standard, but for me I think it will help for the flexibility of the ruche effects of the skirts. Okay, so this is the line in the back panel. one part of the back panel of the skirt. I've lined both sides, so I'm going to be placing each the panels together like so, and then I will stitch the center back by 1 inch. This is the zipper allowance. I used half an inch to turn it up, and I'll be using 1 inch for the zipper allowance and the seam as well. Okay, so this is the front part of the skirt as well. I've lined it up and I've placed my darts. I also placed the darts for the back pattern as well. The dart is for the front and the back, so it depends on how you drafted your pattern. So guys, for the back pattern, I've joined the both panels of the back together with the zipper allowance by 1 inch. I've gone ahead to give it a good press. I relaxed the seam line. Okay, it's best you relax your seam line. Don't just stitch. It will give you this very clean effect on your fabric. So I'm going to be closing the sides. Joining the back pattern helps in joining the front and the back easily. Okay, so I close the back pattern to enable me place my body measure round body measurement on the skirt. I've taken the measurement for the waist, and whatever excess I have, I'm going to be placing it on both sides as the seam allowance. Okay, just share it evenly, distribute it evenly on both sides of the skirt. Okay, whatever measurement I have, the excesses, I'll distribute it evenly on both sides of the skirt. Okay, if you have 3 inches left, know that on both sides you distribute 1.5 inches respectively. So I'll do the same thing for the hemline. Okay, go ahead and distribute the whatever excess you have on both sides. Okay, so I'll secure it with my pin. I'll take it to my sewing machine and run my stitch based on the measurements I've taken. So I'm joining the front to the back. Okay, so guys, I'm done joining the front to the back, and the seam allowance that I have on the sides of the skirt, I'm going to be opening it up. Okay, I'll open it up and relax it properly. Please ensure you give this a very good press. It will help your job to just smooth flow easily. Okay, so I open this up, relax it, so whatever ruches I want to create there, it will just go on smoothly for me. Okay, so I've used my steam iron to relax the side seam, and then I'll go ahead and use my seam ripper to open up the zipper allowance since I've achieved what I need to do on the skirts. So here, this is me trying to cut out a piece of fabric that will help me to create my ruches. This is not the string itself. I'm just cutting out a piece of fabric which is about 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'll cut this out. I'm marking 2.5 inches, and then I'm using a pin to like place the measurement since the chalk might be a little bit faint. I tried using my chalk, but it was faint, so I just used a pin to cut out this. I'm going to use the same measurement to cut out another piece of fabric with using the same measurement. Okay, so this is it here. I'm going to fold both sides by half an inch, more like creating a bias on both sides of this piece of fabric by half an inch. Okay, so I'll be using my steam iron to do this. Okay, and then this is what I have. I've been able to create the bias effect on both sides of this fabric strip, or this strip of fabric. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I will do with this. Okay guys, for the side part which I opened, like I mentioned that I'll use my seam ripper to open up the seam allowance, which is the back center back that I joined, which is the zipper area, the zipper allowance. I'll go ahead and open it up so that whatever job I want to do, it will be easy for me to complete my task, and then I can go ahead later to close it up. Okay, so on the side parts, on the side, I'm going to be placing this strip on that part that I opened up and ironed. I'm going to be placing this strip, so I'm using my pins to secure this strip to the fabric. I'm doing it gently. Please ensure that you follow this step so that you get a very neat job. So I'll use my pin, secure it from top to bottom on both sides. I'll take it to my sewing machine, and then I'm going to be stitching both ends of this strip. I'll do the same on this other side. I'll stitch both ends. After stitching both ends, I'll also run a line on the center part to demarcate the strip into two. Okay, I don't know if this explanation is clear enough. After stitching both sides of the strip, I also ran a thread, stitched the center part of the that same strip to demarcate it into two equal part, like give creating two nozzles or two holes on that strip. Okay, so this other part is a strip of fabric I'll be using to create a string. I'll fold it and then turn it. Okay, so this is me trying to turn this strip of about 1.25. Okay, I place it on fold and then I'm trying to use my needle and thread to turn it, okay, to the right side. So just watch me. This is more like a guide to show you guys how you can easily turn your strip from the wrong side to the right side. Okay, so this is a technique I found easy and I thought to share with you guys. So after threading my needle, I passed it in through the hole, and this is me trying to turn it to the right side. Okay, so whatever it is I did for this particular one, I'm going to do it for the remaining three. Okay, so I thought it's for me I just thought to share with you guys. I could have skipped this part if it wasn't needful, but I know there are some beginners out there who would also want to learn how to turn a strip to the right side, because sometimes it's not as easy as it looks anyway. It's a bit technical, and you have to be very patient to get these stacks done. Okay, so I've done the three. I think this is the only one left for me to turn. So I'll just turn it after passing my thread. I'll just gently turn it to the right side. Okay guys, after doing this, all you need to do is to cut out your thread, and this is it. Very easy to achieve. Okay, so guys, we'll be passing this strip of fabric into the nozzles. Remember I mentioned earlier that I created two holes on this by stitching the center line of this piece of fabric. So I've done one. This is one, so I'm going to be passing the remaining three. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this. I'll do one and then we can go ahead and do the rest if you're sewing along with me. So I'm going to be using the same needle and thread to pass it through the holes. You can use your safety pin, but for me needle and thread is a bit easier because it can just move in gently. So I'll just tie the end and then attach it to the strip and then just move it in this way. Okay, so I'll keep pushing. It's easier for a thread to like drag this strip. Okay, so I ensure that the strip is in the right nozzle, and I'll just keep pulling. By the time the needle comes out, I'll use the thread to like drag the strip out. Okay, it's a very easy thing to achieve. You can see that the strip is out already, so I'm going to be tying it. Okay, and then I'll use the same method for the other side. Okay, the other side. Okay, we've achieved this side. We still have the other side where we need to also pass the remaining two into. So I'm just tying it so that the strip doesn't move back in, but this is not how to secure it. It's just to hold it temporary for the meantime. Now I've been able to work on both sides. I've passed the strip on the holes of both sides, and all you need to do is to just drag it this way. Okay, remember that I just tied it at the end. If you don't tie it or secure it, it's going to pull out. Okay, so this is just it. When you turn it, you are expected to have ruche effects like this. So I'll just straighten it back because I'm not yet done. So I'll open up this temporary thing that I tied. I'll take it to my sewing machine and tack it. I'll stitch it. I'll secure it with stitch so that it remains there. It doesn't pull out again. So I'll stitch it there, and I'll do the same. I'll open up the temporary fold there, and then I'll stitch it as well. So having done this, if you're going to use this as a skirt, this is the point where you need to put your band, your waistband, and then place your zipper and stitch it. Okay, this is just all. But because I'm going to use it for a dress, I have this cowl neck top tutorial. I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box. You can go ahead and check it out. I'll place the right side facing each other, and I'm going to be using my pin to like secure the top to the lower skirt. and then I'll stitch it by this seam allowance. If your seam allowance is 1 inch, go ahead and stitch it. If your seam allowance is half an inch, please go ahead and stitch it. And having done this, I'll take it to my sewing machine and run a stitch, and then I would apply my zipper. Okay, after stitching, I will just place my zipper and our dress is ready to wear. So this is it, guys. You can see how beautiful the dress is looking. You can go ahead and try it out. I'm sure it's a very nice experience you need to explore with me. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like my videos. My existing subscribers, thank you for believing in me, for sticking with me. We have a whole lot to explore on this channel, so stick with me, guys. Thank you and God bless you. Have a great day.